Good to see you.
So good to see you.
I think you're one of the very last international chefs we saw over here.
You're right. You're right.
You were running to the plane if the world was shutting down.
You're not wrong in saying that. I got in the day you shut down.
Jodi, just as an opener, tell us whom you are and where you're coming from on the bright and cheerful day in Dubai.
Sure. I am Jodi Ann Palmer. I'm from South Africa, and I have a business called the Food Design Agency. We are a consulting company to the out-of-home markets, the retail markets, QSR, FSR. And we do a lot of marketing work and research work and consumer insights. I also have a government culinary academy, which you can see around me here, actually. And we do a lot of training for the underprivileged. So it's really fabulous work that we conduct over here.
And of course, Jodi Ann, we've seen you in the capacity as a judge for World Chefs and for the Emirates Culinary Guild. How long have you been judging?
So I've been judging for quite some time. I competed both locally and internationally for many years and loved it. And then was asked to judge 10 or 12 years ago. So I've been judging for quite some time. I was the competitions director of the South African Chefs Association. And I was one of the founding members of the World Chefs Youth Committee. And so I've been sitting on that committee for quite some time. I've been judging internationally for about 10 years now, so very privileged, but missing everyone desperately. I was last in Dubai, as you mentioned, this time last year, and just as we were all going into lockdown. But I've been very privileged to be a part of the Guild for many years. And our colleagues at the Guild are wonderful, and we have such a great time. So it's been really hard not to see everyone.
When you first came to the Emirates to judge a competition, what was your first impression of how we run a show over here compared to what you've seen in other countries?
It was an incredible experience because having judged all over the world, coming to the Emirates and judging at the Salon Culinare was the most unbelievable experience. It's big, it's bold, it's bright, it's so well organized, both from a competitor's level to judges, how everybody's looked after and hosted is so very different and so mind-blowingly awesome. So it really is the competition that us as judges look forward to coming to, from the camaraderie and the professionalism. So it certainly was completely different to anything I had seen. And I was totally blown away. I still am actually every single time I come, because every time we come over to judge, it's bigger and better. And there are more competitors. I mean, just in the years that I've been judging, the number of competitors must have tripled easily. And every year we see more young chefs, and we see people with so much enthusiasm and so much skill at your competition. That is just wonderful, absolutely wonderful.
Great to hear. I mean, we've been talking to many people about what we feel the competitors get out of competition. You've been a competitor as well as a judge, and from a judge's perspective, as you say, you're seeing all of these young chefs and these teams come in. What do you think the benefit is of the competitors taking part in our competitions?
Well, I'll tell you what was once said to me, and then I'll give you my own opinion. But I was very privileged and blessed to have been mentored by two fantastic people, who we all know also as an international judge, but also by Billy Gallagher for many, many years. And we were extremely close. And what Billy used to say to me is that as a competitor, it's your one opportunity to steal, and you steal with your eyes, and you take that knowledge back and you're able to utilize it in your place of work. And he was not wrong of what's going on elsewhere. They get to see global, learn new skills. They can pick up that. But our industry, as we all know, is very much a networking industry. And what competitions allows one to do is meet new people, meet judges, meet people from all scopes of life, from all demographics. And you all realize that we're all one big family and we're allowed to tap into each other's resources. And I think, to me, that's one of the most important things about culinary competitions.
Same vein, we all come from different nationalities, different backgrounds. When you're judging a competition, I mean, yes, we judge the same criteria through world chefs, but do you find it, if you're doing different competitions, it's easier or harder? Or what is the difference from one country to another country? Do you find some more on presentation, some more on taste?
Definitely, there is a difference, but and that's where being a judge is so important, that we're trained well by world chefs and by our local associations and guilds. But it all comes with the flair of the culture, and I think that's what's so exciting about the competitions, actually. So although we are judging predominantly on taste and presentation, texture, visual appeal, it's really important to understand culturally where you're judging and who you're judging, and to take that into account. I certainly think in the likes of Asia, the Emirates, Sri Lanka, you get a lot of artistic flair. You've got so many talented culinary artists. Whereas if you're judging somewhere in Africa, I found that when we were judging in China, those sorts of countries, they really tap into their cultural flavor profiles a lot more than their presentations. We certainly find that in this country, where we've got a lot of different influence, and we find that people tap into the flavor and taste influences more than the artistic influences. But that's what makes it so exciting. And traveling and seeing the different people's, inputs and outputs, and the way that they translate their competition criteria. I mean, you can give competition criteria here or in the Emirates or somewhere else in Europe, and all the different things that come from it is what makes it so exciting. And I think we should be doing more forums like you have now implemented in this competition, because I think that so many people globally are going to learn so much more from seeing your competitors work. And I wish we could do that around the world so that we could all learn more from one another.
Certainly, I'm glad to hear that you feel it's the broadcasting of the event is so beneficial. I mean, this is the first time we've been able to share one of our Salon Culinaires with the rest of the world.
Exactly.
Ironically, internationalizing it even more at a time when so many can't travel. So,
yes.
We've got a silver lining there.
Absolutely.
Of course, and South Africa, I believe, is your red list is, I think, bigger than anybody else's in terms of travel right now. So are you finding that it's very much a domestic, all very domestic for you at the moment, is it?
It is very domestic, but it's changed things completely, because where I had so much international focus in the past, I'm finding myself focusing a lot more on my own country and my own nation now. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, although we're missing everybody terribly, and we're missing, our colleagues and the networking and the growing of our industry, but we're able to connect on Teams and Zoom, and we're very grateful for that. But as I said, in terms of sharing culinary competition knowledge, what you've done as a guild is going to be a game changer, and certainly allow a lot more people to learn a lot more about international culinary competitions at the very highest standard that they'll ever see.
One of the things we have tried to do, because we know our trade has been probably hit worldwide hardest. So we did take that conscious decision. Now we're not going to lock ourselves away, but the one thing is we've reached out to the likes of yourself before you, D'Amico, and so many, Anne and everyone this last week. It's heartwarming, and it's maybe we are setting a trend for a future that part of the salons should be a networking thing, that we can get ourselves out there even if we're not there, whether it's COVID or not.
Definitely.
I mean, of course, made possible thanks to our streaming partner, ICCA Dubai. So how fortunate we are in the Emirates to have a top-notch culinary school that also has invested in the tech, not only for themselves, but they've had to really up their game. We're at 3 locations and we're connecting all over the world.
It's incredible.
But we hope that, you know, you're able to see the detail to
Catering Olympics live stream. You think of all the chefs in the world who dream to go there, but from finance, time, pressure, can't.
Exactly.
And just seeing a few little pictures in a book coming out, it's not the same as experience it. And
no.
I would like to say that I definitely want people to keep traveling and come into the events. And I know, Jodi Ann, you do love the in-person stuff.
So much.
And of course,
I'm really missing it.
And the beauty with food is you've got to taste it. Thank goodness.
Thank goodness.
Because
I'm desperate to get back.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Yeah. But I mean, I think what we've done this week, putting it on live, has not taken anything away from the show. I think it would encourage more people to actually participate in the show.
We
definitely
hope so.
Yeah.
And not just in your show. I think it's going to encourage a lot of people to participate in other competitions and other shows, because, you know, one of the elements that prevents competitors from competing and participating even is the fear of the unknown. And this, you know, shows them that it's absolutely okay, and you're going to only gain, you're never going to lose by participating. You're going to gain mentors, you're going to gain friends, you're going to gain knowledge, experience, and you're going to be able to push.
On the judging, I mean, giving feedback to the competitors, how important is that? I mean, you just identify a lot of competitors before they come are very scared. But giving that feedback, how do you get over them that even if they're not a success this time, their efforts are rewarded with what they learn?
Massive deal, and being able to see it from anywhere in the world. Yeah.
Anywhere in the world, it can be seen from anywhere in the world, and that does make a massive difference. Yeah. Well, Jodi, I know that we're getting a bit of buffering and a bit of technological
most important part of the judging process. Judging, static, all of it's coming to a competition to grow and learn. So, oh, sorry.
No problem at all. Hey, we're learning as we go along too, Jodi, as you can see.
So, Jodi, thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. And we can't wait to the time we can all get together again.
We'll see.
Me too. Miss you all.
Bye, Jodi. Jodi Ann, bye.